A shed for James. One day, Hank was making some deliveries across the island of Sodor when something unexpected happened. One of his trucks began wiggling around and out popped Ace the rally car. "Excuse me, mate, but could you move away so I could get through?" I think you need to use the level crossing," said Hank. Well, no," said Ace. "I'm going to do this." Ace jumped over Hank and was zooming out of control, and he crashed right into James's berth of Tidmouth Sheds. "Oh, whoops," said Ace. That evening, while all the other engines were out, the Fat Controller came to speak to James. "James," said the Fat Controller, "as you know, your berth in Tidmouth Sheds is broken, so you're going to have to sleep somewhere else tonight." "Oh no," said James, "but where?" Meanwhile, someone important was coming down the road. It was Fiery Flynn. "Don't worry, sir. James can sleep with us at the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre," he said happily. The Fat Controller agreed with this idea, and furthermore, James went off with Flynn to the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre. So, as they found James a place to sleep at the centre, James happily got in, and Flynn, he went off to sleep. And James went happily to sleep. The next morning, James was ready to go and begin his work. He was looking forward to sleeping in the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre again tonight, if his berth at Tidmouth Sheds was still broken. And that evening, James went back to sleep at the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre, very happily. A few weeks later, James's berth was fixed, and Ace was sent back to Australia, and all of the engines were happily going back to Tidmouth Sheds. One by one, they all went inside. And Neil went in, and Gordon heard the news. And last but not least, Thomas and Percy came back to Tidmouth Sheds. Yep, everyone happily came back out to welcome back Tidmouth Sheds. But then, Flynn was coming along to see. "Wow," said Flynn, "Tidmouth Shed sure looks the same again." "Indeed it does," said the Fat Controller. "Actually, sir," said James, I could spend one more night at the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre. Ah, yes, James. Come along for as long as you like, or perhaps forever even. Well, James, said the Fat Controller, if you want to move to the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre, that's fine with me. And he walked off. We'll miss you here at Tidmouth Sheds, James, said Thomas. Ha, don't worry, I'm sure I'll be just fine, said James happily as he went off with Flynn. Well, I wonder who's going to be joining us at Tidmouth Sheds now, said Percy. Well, said Thomas, we'll just have to wait and see. But that might be another story.